Shut up! No, this was not coming from the mouth of an irritated politician during a town meeting, nor was it a positive exclamation from a teen who could not believe her good fortune, like, "Oh, shut up." No, this was a very negative exclamation coming from a source I could hardly believe. It was coming out of the mouth of a high school senior. Well, I was speechless. I was shocked. Now, you'd think that this kind of talk, to me, a past high school principal, would not even faze. True. The difference, this was Grant, one of my own sons. My kids never talked to me that way. So what was going on? The words and the force with which they were stated left me speechless. I shut up. And then Grant added some very profound words, words that I have never forgotten and that have been a mainstay in the way I think and operate. He added, "And listen, Dad." Fortunately, I was willing to learn from many sources, even unlikely sources. It was from a very frustrated high school boy who meant no disrespect, who wanted to help, but wanted me to hear the situation before I, in far too often things I've done, started trying to fix it. So often we try to fix things without listening to the input from those next to it. That is one of the reasons I spent time previously in one of the sessions, if you remember, recommending that the questionnaire be to your staff. You'll begin to see things, or hear things, the way they are being seen by others. It helps you as a leader not to do some really ineffective things. Additionally, I found that as I work with people and listen to them, they often find their own solutions, often better than one that I might come up with. It also sets them to be learners. Like in Grant's case, after they are done laying out the concerns, they ask, as Grant did, what you think would help. In the many complaints, employee grievances, and negotiation sessions that I've worked with, an amazing number were solved by my listening more and talking less. And this activity can mean more successful businesses. Here's a related story by Randy of Pepperdine University. He goes something like this. There was a place in the city that had once been residential, and like so many similar situations, commercial buildings eventually closed in. Although most of the houses had been sold and demolished and buildings erected in their place, one particular home was still in place. A Mrs. Adams, we'll call her, lived there and had a nice lot, garden, and so on. She had lived there a long time. A few years passed, her husband had died. She still liked her home and was not interested in moving. A law firm was looking for an expanded location, saw the property, and wanted to buy it. They determined its value and sent one of the attorneys to the home to make an offer to Mrs. Adams. He chatted with her for a time and made the offer. She said that she really wasn't interested in selling. When he returned with the information, the partners in the firm decided to make a considerably better offer. So they sent their member back over. While Mrs. Adams was even flattered that they should make such an offer, she still declined. When this news was returned, even though they thought it the perfect place for their building, the leaders had no choice, they thought, so they decided to look elsewhere and give up on that one. However, one attorney asked if he might try and make one last effort. They had nothing to lose. He went to see Mrs. Adams. He asked her what she did and why she liked living there. She told him what she had shared with his partners, and she said that basically it was a good location because there was city transportation nearby. It was not too far from her grandchildren. And because of the transportation, she was able to easily get to the senior center where she volunteered regularly. No, she didn't particularly care for the encroachment by the business community and, of course, you know, the noise and fuss, but the good outweighed the bad. Well, this attorney thanked her for the visit and left. A few days later, the firm was delighted to find that Mrs. Adams was willing to sell her home. What had happened? No, she didn't get more money. In fact, she felt the first offer was adequate. The attorney who secured the property had started off by hearing Mrs. Adams. No, not just listening. You know, the others had listened, but didn't really hear. After hearing what she liked about where she was, he went out and found a home much like hers. That was near transportation, had a nice yard so she could have her garden, was actually near her grandchildren than she was now, and was free from the business noise and congestion. It was an easy sell. I have done a lot of negotiations, both distributive bargaining and interest-based negotiations, and I can tell you that there is no comparison between the feelings of the people involved in interest-based than distributive. I only do one kind of negotiations anymore. It's interest-based. But that's another topic. Hopefully we'll get to that one. Hope to see you next time.